Hello, and welcome to the School Board Report, the first of 2019. I'm Mitchell Dunham, and joining me here is School Board President Jeff Barone. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So, Mr. Barone, on January 28th, the school board voted unanimously for the realignment plan that calls for the closing of Market Street Elementary at the end of this school year. Was that a difficult decision?
Of course. There were two pieces to that decision, both affecting the community and the students. The financial piece, you might remember we were very close to not passing our new money levy, which would have meant the reduction of staff and programs. And on the emotional piece, very difficult for the board, administrators, the students, the community at large, families and whatnot. A lot of memories over there. So it was definitely difficult. Back in August, we asked Superintendent Saxton and his staff, administrative staff, to look at the possibility of closing an elementary school. They came back with the recommendation after spending months working on it. The nice thing about it is it wasn't just a financial gain for the school system, but also an educational one that worked. So, yeah, it was a tough decision.
So are you concerned about the move?
So, two concerns that are banging around in my head this morning would be the construction part of it and the communication. So the construction part, we're going to do our best to make sure that the rooms inside center, intermediate, are ready for the fourth graders before the next school year. It's priority one. The second piece of that would be making sure the offices are ready for the administrative team over at the high school. The communication piece is always tricky. There are times where inaccurate information ends up on social media. You know, we do our very best to communicate with people, but not everyone gets their information the same way, which makes it tricky. And then once in a while, some bad information gets out there. So I would say if you have questions, email us at questions@boardmanschools.org. We'll do our best to communicate to you and update our district website as we go through this process.
Okay. So what would you like parents and students to know as we approach the spring and next school year with these changes in mind?
Well, back to the emotional piece I talked about a little bit earlier. We know that there's some traditions that went on in that building. We're going to pay particular attention to the current third graders that become fourth graders and see if we can plan something for them. We are going to communicate with the families of students at Market Street as soon as we get information on where their children will be attending elementary. I don't want to say we're sitting on our hands by any means, but it takes some time to make sure we get it right. So we're working on it diligently.
Immediately after passing the plan, residents who live near Market Elementary want to know what will happen with the property. So do you think it will be sold?
There's a couple options on the table. First, I'll back up and say that we have really good leadership at the township level, and they want what's best for the community. We know that. They can also appreciate that as school board members, we have a fiduciary responsibility to the district. Said a different way, we have to provide for the financing and the facilities to educate our students, period. There's a possibility that they could purchase the property from us, the entire piece of property. There's also a possibility we may sell the back piece to them, to the township and the community, so they can continue the water retention project back there, and possibly sell the frontage. You know, we want what's in the best interest of the community at large. We are sitting down with them. We are discussing options, but our first responsibility is to the school district. So they understand that.
That sounds difficult. Some other business passed by the board included field trips. I saw the band is headed to Disney next Christmas break.
Well, yeah, who doesn't want to go to Disney, right? I'm sure the Patriots are headed to Disney now. Anyway, so on the 27th, the band will leave next year. They won't miss any school. It's really a signature trip for them. They'll be performing in front of large crowds down there. The baseball team will head to Bradenton, Florida again to do some practice. Again, that's over spring break, and they won't miss any school. And finally, the orchestra and the chamber orchestra will go down to Columbus to compete again in the OMEA orchestra contests, I guess, if you will. I've lost track of how many awards they've won because I think I'm getting complacent because they just keep winning awards. They're like the Patriots of orchestras in high schools. So again, great opportunities for the students. That's what we do a lot of here at Boardman Schools, and I know they appreciate that, that's for sure.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Sure. So we recently hired a new transportation director, a young man by the name of Ryan Dunn. Comes with us, to us with 10 years of experience in transportation. He's a 2009 graduate. Expectations are high of Ryan. I looked him in the eye and shook his hand and said exactly that. The transportation piece of this realignment is extremely important, and I believe he's up to the task. I would also like to give a shout out to Kathy Fate, who without her we would not have held the department together the way we've had after the retirement of our past transportation director. So very much grateful, the board is grateful, and administrative team to Kathy for doing that. So, but congratulations and good luck to Ryan.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here today. Our next scheduled school board meeting is Monday, February 25th at West Boulevard Elementary. For BSTN, I'm Mitchell Dunham, and have a great day.